What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kirby Bros Gaming Podcast. This show is coming to you monthly, every single month, talking about the latest gaming news, latest trailers, latest trailers, latest gameplays, latest everything, next-gen consoles, everything under the sun. I'm here with my co-host, Keaton Kirby. Keaton, what's up, homie?
Nothing much. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, hanging in there like the rest of the freaking country.
Pretty much it right now, right?
I know. I mean, we got 40 million people are unemployed right now, and 40 million people are unemployed. A lot of people out of work. There's riots going on right now. A lot of people got coronavirus. I think we're over 100,000 for that, probably more. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But the world's going crazy. The world's going crazy, but we're here to entertain you in the meantime. But there has been a lot of freaking stuff that has happened this month in games, Keaton. A lot.
Yeah, man. We kind of come, prepared, unprepared. So I'm assuming everything as we remember it, as we go through all this, we'll just hit it, right? And just talk about top of our head on whatever it may be.
Yeah, man. I mean, first off, we'll just start off with like what we've been playing this month, and then we'll continue on. And I kind of want to hear your predictions for what this PS5 event's going to look like on Thursday.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. All right. By the way, first time when we talked, I didn't beat any game in 2020, right?
Yep.
I was, let me see real quick. I can pull up my list because I'm trying
to
Go ahead. So, beat games this year now.
Right.
I got Final Fantasy VII Remake done. Beat it.
Attaboy.
We should probably talk about some of that shit, by the way, real quick. Oh, excuse my language. We're not
supposed to cuss, right? Go ahead. No, you can. I don't care.
Because that's kind of insane. And some of the big, I guess, Final Fantasy people out there and all this stuff, like you said, is kind of controversial to some extent. And to some extent, people are, like, really loving it. And I'm one of the people that I really love what happened. Second to that, I beat Resident Evil 3.
Nice,
and that game, it is really short, by the way. But I know we talked about the last podcast, but the thing I like about it, because how short it is and it's more action-oriented, if you do replays, man, you get some crazy stuff, dude. Like, there's, like, laser weird guns. There's, like, a lava knife that's, like, one hit on zombies and things along those lines. So,
yeah.
They added some cool stuff, after that and, like, post-game to help, I guess, like, stretch it out a little more. And I am a firm believer that campaign was supposed to be part of the Resident Evil 2. They were going to do, like, a Resident Evil 2/3 remake bundle package. And one of them probably needed more time, so they probably ended up, split and then adding that little multiplayer thing, which I haven't played. And then I beat The Last of Us.
So you've already played through? I got to do that. I still need to do that. I still got to play through that game again.
Shout out to, man, I'm going to butcher this, Troy Baker and what's the other guy's name?
Neil Druckmann?
Not Neil Druckmann. The other voice actor that's really famous that plays Nathan Drake. Nathan Fillion, man.
Nathan.
That's an actor.
That's an actor. That's not him. It's
that we think looks like Drake. God, what is his name?
Shoot, I can't think of it either. That's terrible.
He's one of the biggest.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And
he does the voice.
It's not
for
Nathan, is it?
Assassin's Creed stuff too.
Oh, he does the voice for everything.
He was.
Play the game.
Yeah.
They do a Let's Play of that game.
Right.
Troy Baker and him is doing the Let's Play, and I don't really watch much Let's Plays, but it's one of my favorite Let's Plays I've ever watched, and continue like it's
Nolan
really
North,
good,
by the way.
Nolan North. Yeah, I know it was the end, but they it's I don't know. Shout out to them guys because they did really good on The Last of Us.
Dude, Last of Us is so freaking good.
Yeah, and Troy Baker gives you so much more insight on the process of. He's like, you watch that actual playthrough and you see some of these clips and stuff they do because he brings in all the actors for like Trish, Ellie.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I can't remember the black guy and his son. They bring that's in the middle of the game. I can't remember the character's name or the actor.
I can't either.
Apologize for that, but they bring him in. They bring in. I said Trish and Ellie. I don't remember their actresses' names either, but I just remember the characters' names.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're but they bring in guys. I think his name's David. Which is ironic because it is Nolan North.
Yeah,
so
Nolan North,
the
he's the creepy guy,
dude. Yeah,
the rapey guy.
And playing the game again, by the way, it's been years since I played it.
Right.
I watched that Let's Play, which was really entertaining. And of course, you and I are both, I'm assuming, super ecstatic for Last of Us 2.
Oh my
So I
god!
wanted,
Did you watch the state of play for that game?
Oh yeah, I watched it.
Holy balls!
I know a lot of people go media blackout, but I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I forget so much stuff. I can't even remember the majority of the story beats in that game.
Exactly.
I remember PS Vita, and I remember that she can swim. That's the only things I remember from that Let's Play.
I just love the gameplay. It reminded me a lot of Uncharted 4 because they're using that kind of open world level system.
Yeah, I think I've not seen any spoilers. I hope you haven't either. If you have,
I have.
please,
I have.
please
I
don't
have.
tell us.
I
I'm
have.
hoping
I
the
won't.
stories, the spoilers or story beat stuff, which I'm assuming. Because
People
the
blew that
gameplay
way
looks
out of it. Let me tell you this,
proportion.
Keaton. I'll say this about the spoilers. It's not a spoiler. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But, I have a group chat with a bunch of my friends, and, they spoiled the game for me because they're a bunch of Xbox fanboys, and they didn't like the fact that I was excited for something, I guess. But anyways. All the stuff that they told me that people were upset about made sense to me. Like, they weren't things that I would have been upset about playing the first game because it made sense in my head. So I will tell you that. Don't be fearful about the game. Don't be scared because people are like, ooh,
Oh man, I'm
they
not worried about it at
ruined
all
the
because
characters and blah, blah, blah. Because they
I think
didn't. I read the
we
spoilers and they don't ruin the characters.
we
So
briefly talked about this ourselves with Star Wars. Like,
yeah,
it's the same concept. I'm still gonna watch Star Wars and enjoy it to whatever I can.
yeah,
And I actually still think that this game in itself, because at the end of the day, I love games because they are games and they're interactive. I'm not here to read script. And that game, for how many years they spent on it, the new systems they played, because I will say, playing The Last of Us, it is a little clunky. There's some systems in there,
yeah.
and you kind of you do
The
want
backpack is what always messed me up.
Yeah, I mean the backpack, some of the movement, some of the out of cover stuff, just kind of odd things here and there. They have really good systems, but then the systems sometimes kind of get on your nerves too a little bit. Like, he always makes a shiv, but at the same time, why don't you just go get an industrial, just whatever knife, high grade titanium, and then you never have to make another shiv.
That's true.
Different. I know it's a different complaint because it's so funny. You make these little shiv things in the game, right?
Right.
And then you play as Ellie, and she has a switchblade looking knife.
Yep.
And it never breaks. You're just why did you give that to him in the first place, man? Yeah, but regardless, there's some stuff in that game, playing through it. Still a phenomenal game. The shooting, I said, was a little wonky.
I agree with that. Did you like the
interesting.
shooting? You played Uncharted 4, right?
Yes.
Did you like the shooting in that game?
I feel like they definitely refined it from the prior games a little bit.
I
but
didn't.
It's still
I
a little
didn't
wonky,
think they
though.
refined it. I liked Uncharted 3 shooting better than Uncharted. And people always said that Uncharted 3 was worse than Uncharted 2, but I thought Uncharted 3 was better than both of them.
Here's one of my, I was reading on this, and they're talking about in The Last of Us, and even Naughty Dog games itself, why the shooting sometimes feels odd.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is they keep kind of saying they want to bring it down to make it a little more real feeling, because the idea behind it is, we're not Call of Duty, we're not 60 frames per second straight twitch shooting, you're this, you're that, you're in these situations, definitely in The Last of Us, you're nervous, you have to make this shot or you're going to die,
right.
So it's almost like fighting against you to make it a little more immersive, right? But with the new game, and this is what I'm hoping for, is if you're even watching the gameplay trailer, Ellie obviously is a bad A beyond bad A. If she can sit there and dodge 16 machete slices in a row, and stab the guy right in the neck, then you better hold the gun just as still. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm just hoping that, like I said, I hope they really make it just a little more fluid and more intuitive to play. Because the same thing with Resident Evil. If you're playing Resident Evil 3, what they did is they didn't really add any kind of auto aim. So it's all just out there, and the reason why they did it is to create tension, because the zombies are slow moving because they don't want it. But man, dude, but you can go to an easier mode, which is called assist mode, and it adds auto aim. You can pop, 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 and honestly, that's just as fun, But nah, dude, I'm super excited for The Last of Us.
I've got my pre-order. Already set up.
So I'm pre-ordered through Amazon for a physical copy.
I got digital because me and my brother are sharing it across our PS4s. I was gonna get the hardcover, the steelbook case, because that's what I've been doing with all my PlayStation exclusives. I've been getting the steelbooks. They look real pretty and stuff. But with this one, I'm sharing it with my brother because he played the first one and he loved it. So I was like, well, I want us to both be able to download it. So
See, that's like my problem is I don't mind buying it digital because I already had it pre-ordered through Amazon, and then of course it hasn't shipped and money hasn't come out. I'd
right.
rather have it physical, but
Yep.
at the same time, Amazon's still not exactly on their game yet, as in with everything that's going on. And I don't mean that as in on their game technically, because I know what's going on with the world.
Yep.
I'm not sure it's going to be day-on-day delivery.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually going to be at the beach that week, by the way.
Same am I. So am
goodness, because
I've got automatic download on, so as soon as I get home, it's Last of Us 2 time.
If I had to wait all week while working with that game coming, it would drive me crazy. That week would have been super slow. But now I'll be at the beach fishing, swimming, having a blast, and then when I get home, it's going to be there for me. So I can't wait.
Dang right, man.
But I'm still kind of like, I can't figure out if I go ahead and cancel Amazon and just do it digital so I know that it'll be there. I'm kind of in a weird mindset right now because I don't know if I want to, risk it. So I don't know. What do you think on that, though? Should I? Digital?
I think you'll be all right with the physical. Amazon's good. The last time I ordered physical on Amazon, they shipped it 2 days before the actual release date, and it came the day it came out.
But was it during the COVID?
No, it was not during the COVID.
See, that's what I'm concerned about. But I just ordered a hat 2 days ago, and it came in 2 days. So
yeah, I don't think you'll have to worry. I think
we're
pretty much
back
good now.
Yeah, but hopefully we'll see, right?
Just around here.
I guess I'll stick with physical for now. I just want to say one thing about The Last of Us, though, by the way.
Go for it.
Ellie's scene when she meets him for the first time, that's probably my favorite part of that game. When I first played it, the creepy guy. Sorry, the creepy guy.
Oh, okay.
So when you meet him.
Yeah.
Because it's really weird scene or play in the game because the majority of the game, even though you're going through it, a lot of it is very resource minded. Like there's sections in the game that I feel like they actually don't even want you to engage. Yes, you can engage, but it's almost like they're telling you, hey, let's not engage. Because I would look at my little revolver pistol, had 7 rounds, 2 shotgun rounds, and 3 arrows.
Right.
And there's 14 clickers. No, not 14,
right.
but there'd be 6 or 7 clickers. And clickers normally, if you don't kill them with the shit from behind, it's pretty much 4 or 5 bullets if you're lucky, hitting him in the head. I already told you the aiming. So then you get to Ellie's part in that game, and it's really weird because
don't you have the bow and arrow?
Yes, they did DLC for
when
she got bit.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why they didn't do DLC between Fall and Winter because I really, really, really want to know what happened because it doesn't tell you at all in the story.
Yep.
It doesn't allude to it. All it lets you know is that obviously Joel doesn't heal properly. He gets some kind of infection. He needs antibiotics.
Yep.
And they made some kind of progress in some kind of movement range. So and she went from literally 3 or 5 months prior, because I think it's summer when he finally gives her a gun, or it might have been spring, I can't remember. So she went from learning or just shooting a gun for the first time to being a complete bad A.
Yep.
Within that time. So was there a struggle? Because obviously there's had to be a struggle because they were struggling the whole way. So I would really, and maybe there's a comic out there that I'm not aware of, but I really want to know.
Could be.
What happened from Fall to Winter in The Last of Us? Because that is because when you get to that mission, that part of the game.
Yeah, I didn't even realize how much she changed. That's before she's shooting the rifle and stuff too, isn't it? Or is that after?
She shoots the rifle prior to that.
Okay.
And then he gives her the pistol
she has a little bit of training, but not as much to be the badass that she is in that level.
Yeah. And then when you're actually playing that level, like I said, it is a matter of completely different because it's a horde base at that point.
Yep.
You're sending stuff after you constantly. You're moving from one section to another with stuff still coming after you.
Yep.
So like I said, it's actually a different kind of pace from the whole game. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I really appreciate it a little more this time around, I think, than I did last time. Because the last time I was like, what the heck is this going on? Even though it's cool because you're playing as Ellie suddenly. What's going on? But that was just kind of my little spiel on The Last of Us. Really close to beating Animal Crossing 2, by the way, because we're still on there. So.
I'm still not close. I I keep visiting other people's islands and realizing what a piece of crap I am with my island.
Oh yeah, my island's crap too. I just got
Oh
your 3
my gosh,
stars, so KK
dude,
comes over.
I'm visiting all these girls' islands. And it's insane. It is insane.
That's my
Like
wife's island.
they're
It's
like
insane.
they're like little interior designers in here at Animal Crossing. And then you
Oh
go
yeah,
to
dude.
mine, and I just got shit everywhere.
And with everything going on, by the way, just a shout out to Animal Crossing because
Oh
it is
hell yeah, man.
I didn't play for like a whole maybe 2 weeks.
Yep. Do you time travel?
And then I got back on it. No, I haven't tried time travel.
I time travel. I'm time travel
But
because I'll skip like a week and I'm like gotta go back. Don't want to miss nothing. It's really messed me up though because my freaking Switch will think that it's a different day. It'll be Sunday and I'll be like, ooh, I gotta go buy me some turnips, and then I realize I time traveled and it's freaking Tuesday on my thing.
But so I'm still playing some Animal Crossing. I actually got another game recently called Maneater.
Is that the shark game?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the shark RPG.
This is another conversation I think you need to have, and I am hoping this is going to bleed in a couple other things with Unreal Engine 5 coming out and their new rules for Unreal Engine 5, so we're not having to pay any kind of royalties or anything like that, usage fee until $1 million over.
Yep.
That maybe we get some more B tier games because this is so B tier. Back in the day, just PlayStation, how they used to have all of them. Like you got the game and it was just a fun, decent to good game.
Right.
That's what this game is. Like, yeah, I can only play it like 30 minutes an hour at a time because
honestly,
it is pretty repetitive.
It reminds me of something like Goat Simulator or one of those games.
But it's definitely not Goat Simulator. It's a little more than that. And so that's what I meant by like AA because they spent some money on it. They have some SNL guy doing the narration for it. Some of the animations are actually pretty good. The graphics aren't horrible. I think it's because they went with an art style. It runs.
Does the shark talk?
Shark does not talk.
Damn.
But it is
0 out of 5. Shark doesn't talk.
It's so messed up though. Like you'll sit there and you'll see someone swimming and you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. And you just come out of the water, you pop up, and I got to the point where like sometimes I'll thrash them around and eat them. Sometimes I'll just chomp on them to eat them. And sometimes I'll just bite them in the leg and I'll drag them down to the bottom and watch their meter go down because they drown.
What the hell?
You know how cool that is? I mean, like, there's some cool stuff on it. But, like, then, like, certain things will happen, like, when the hunters and stuff show up, and that's when the game doesn't shine as well, because it is harder to, like, control with
like Jaws
and all that stuff, but...
throwing barrels at you
I've
and
been
shooting
playing it. It's a pretty fun game, and it only came out $40 too, which I really think helped it, because if it was a $60
that's too
game,
much. That's too much.
Say,
no, that's a $20 game.
You're getting 25 hours of entertainment out of it. It's just you gotta play it peacefully. But yeah,
not for me. If you're interested in that stuff, go for it.
Minecraft Dungeons came out. I played a little bit of it.
Now that's top down, isn't it?
It is a top down. It's more of an action.
Do you still make dungeons?
I don't
make your own dungeon? Okay.
Because I've only played like 5 minutes of it.
I thought it would be interesting if the system was like you go third person when you're playing the dungeon, and then first person building the dungeon or something.
Well, they really need to expand on it because, in some extent, it's pretty bare bones right now.
So, now, is that Xbox exclusive?
No, it's not on PlayStation. I don't think, but it's on the Switch. It might be on PlayStation. I'm not sure. I know it's on the Switch or coming to Switch, so.
Probably is.
Maybe they will drop.
I was just wondering because I know they own Mojang now. Yeah. But so far, really, nothing's changed exclusive wise or anything like that.
Yeah. So just going off these games, by the way, here's a quick run of everything else, and also everything else of how I played
so much more than me.
So Apex Legends, I play it pretty regularly.
Okay.
We got a group that gets on. We have fun with that game. Loba. I mean, what can you say about Loba? Anyone else that hears this, y'all know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
she's Beyonce pretty much. They put Beyonce in the game.
Oh heck yeah! Is she the one that's in the little promo?
She was the most searched thing on those kind of websites like the day of that she released.
I know these websites. These websites.
I'm just telling you, like she was on there. But that game's fun regardless. honestly, like out of the battle royale stuff, like I like the Call of Duty Warzone, but
Oh my! I've been playing Call of Duty Warzone like every night, Keaton. I
this
love
Apex,
Warzone so
man,
much. But you know what bothers me? The
what?
freaking file size of that game.
Oh
Holy
yeah, it's
crap!
huge.
It's like 200
Yeah.
gigs. And season 4 is gonna come out
Yep.
not tomorrow or the next
I think
day.
the next day, right? Captain Price.
Yeah, and I just know it's gonna be like 40 gigabytes. Like I'm just preparing my PS4 to be effed.
Right.
But yeah, I'll have that. I'll have Warzone. I'll have the battle pass again because I've got enough COD points built up. Because I actually went far in this battle pass. I'm not to 100 yet. I think I'm like 70
I haven't
something.
completed any battle pass in Call of Duty. I've only completed the Apex pass.
I really wanted Alex. I really wanted him, and I have him. I just have him with the mask on, and I don't want it with the mask on.
Well, after the battle pass, if I'm not mistaken, they give you like operations that you can do to complete the stuff after the fact.
I hope so.
So like I don't even have the second gun, the free gun. I don't have it.
Yeah.
Unlocked. And then after it'll pop up and it'll be like, 15 matches in a row, get 3 sniper kills without a scope or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So, but yeah, I played a little bit of that. And the other big game I've been playing is Rocket League.
Nice. I could never get into Rocket League.
I like Rocket League. Just want to throw this out here, though. First of all, if anyone from, what is it, Sonic or whatever their name is, and any people who play Rocket League, there's some serious problems with that game. And what I'm talking about is it has crossplay enabled.
I was about to say the crossplay.
I actually studied this weekend. The Switch undocked doesn't even run at 720p, and I'm barely chugging at 30 frames per second.
Oh damn! And you're crossplay with
You
those people.
can play someone on a PC who can run 144 frames per second.
That was always my problem with Fortnite. When I would play on my Switches, everybody'd be moving a mile a minute, and I'd be chugging behind.
And it makes a world of difference in Rocket League because a lot of 50-50 balls, you're like, oh, I hit that. And on your screen, just because it's so, I guess, behind. And maybe latency can be in play too, but I think a lot of it's just, like you said, just the frames per second. Dude, it is, like, I'm not even kidding you. It is, sometimes you can definitely tell, like, you need to turn the crossplay off to some extent.
Yeah,
we
you just got to turn it off.
PlayStation, though, so on my Switch, we couldn't do it, but it's bad. And then my other thing is the ranking system in that game is awful. Straight awful.
Really?
Because
what do you even base the ranking system on? That wins or just goals?
No, it should be based off of how well you actually perform in the match, is what I'm saying. So, because you can sit there and if you want to play trios and you're trying to climb the ladder and you rank up and let's say you play a team of 3 who's a club, plays the game every day, and then you get 2 people in your team, a guy that's just recently became gold and this other dude who's just fiddle farting around, and you lose by 6 points, it takes you down. And you can still drop like 7 goals that game and be the one that kept you in the game the whole time, but you don't get rewarded for it. And then on top of the other rankings, which makes me really, really irritated, is because you go by divisions. So it's like bronze 1, bronze 2, bronze 3 before you get to silver, but you have 4 divisions in each of those ranks, right?
Right.
You'd be at division 1, 2, 3. The only time you can climb divisions per win is if you get on a streak. So if you win like 3 or 4 games in a row and you keep winning, your division will keep changing, and then you can climb the ranks. Well, the minute you lose, there's like a grace period. It doesn't take you down.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes you down immediately, and then sometimes it'll keep taking you down, and you're just sitting there. And then when you win, it doesn't take you back up. There's like another grace period for you to win again. So that's kind of irritating. But the biggest problem is the game. The community is already shrunk to some extent. Like it always shows about 200,000 players. I don't think that's true. I don't even ever think that's true because it just doesn't seem like there's that many on there sometimes. And the reason why I said that too is because they call them Smurfs.
Yeah.
There's so many players who are these like champion level players, which is like the top rank. I can't even remember what they're called now.
Yeah, and they create new accounts or something.
They create new accounts.
Yep.
And they'll sit there and destroy you.
Yep.
And
I've heard about people doing that on Call of Duty too. So
I don't know, man. It's really frustrating. There's supposed to be measures in there and play, but they don't do it because I've been reading. Supposedly these people do this so they can get like ridiculous highlight, YouTube clips. And they put it on there, and it helps, I guess, sell the game or whatever. But it's pretty bad. And it's got to the point where I even thought about just dropping the game, even when I am having fun, because it's just like that part is just like I said, it's just not fun.
I don't blame you. I
Still
wouldn't blame you
hanging
at
with it
all.
a little bit, but like I said, it's pretty rough, and that's pretty
Yeah.
much the majority of what I'm playing. But what I was gonna say though, I have these games on backlog right now, and I'm just looking at a couple of them. I have Borderlands 3. I haven't even got past level 3 in that game with my character. Hardly played it. Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay.
Hardly played it. Dark Souls 3. Just bought it like 3 weeks ago. 10 minutes.
Yep. Nice.
Doom Eternal. Just the first mission.
Nice.
And Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I actually put like 20 hours in it.
Okay, I beat that game.
Nothing. Greedfall, which is some RPG came out last year. Bought it. 10 minutes. Like.
Nice.
It's crazy how many games I got that I haven't even touched, dude, and want to touch and never get around to touching them. It's Surge 2, bought that last year. Really
I don't
fun
even know what
game,
that is.
Dark
Isn't
Souls.
that a drink?
No, it's like a Dark Souls game.
Oh, okay.
I haven't played it. Division 2, which right now would be a really weird /fitting.
Oh yeah, that would be a very weird game to play.
But I only get to level 9. You know, like there's so much stuff, dude. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. By the way, that game came out and it destroyed almost everything about Ghost Recon from Wildlands.
Yeah,
They
I thought
made
people
it
didn't
into
like
a
that
tier
game.
system. They made it into a loot system. It was pretty terrible to some extent. Well, they released an update in this game not too long ago,
and that was good.
Yes, like they ended up minimalist HUD. They got rid of level capping for characters. They got rid of like gun tiers. Like you're not getting an M4 that's a blue over an M4 that's white because it's rare. Like, they got rid of all that crap.
Yep.
They brought it back more to its roots. And if you play that game and you're burnt because of that, go back to it. Is all I'm saying. They did some cool stuff to it. I think it's really wicked. They listen to the community.
What is it with Tom Clancy games where they like shit the bed when they first come out and then they're all of a sudden they're good like a year later?
Well, I think people still haven't came around to that game that well, even though that update come out. Because but I'm just letting you know, if anyone does hear this, it's pretty cool. Like, give it a try if you're into that. Because I actually watched a movie called Triple Frontier on Netflix. It's been out forever. I don't know why I didn't watch it, but it's a pretty cool film.
Have you seen Extraction yet?
No, I didn't watch that one too. Though.
Do me a favor, go watch Extraction. It's good. I liked Extraction.
Yeah. But,
Chris Hemsworth's in it.
Right, it's the Russo brothers.
Yeah, it's the Russo brothers, and it's John Wick, but it's Chris Hemsworth. That's legit. There's the movie. All
right. Well, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good time.
It's very good. Very good.
That's why I got in that Ghost Recon. I watched that whatever movie, Triple Frontier, and it kind of reminded me of like Wildlands, where you just dropped in a third world country and you're taking down a drug cartel. And like Breakpoint's not that way, but I was like, well, if I got the newer one, I might as well try that instead of going back to Wildlands.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
The new update, like I said, it did pretty good. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff that I've been playing. So when I get a chance, everything's still busy around here. I'm still working full schedule, more actually throughout the evenings. Working from home, I put more hours in. I know it's crazy, but it just ends up being that way.
Yeah.
Like I said, right now we just hit month end, and that's happening. And got this audits I got to complete, and that's going to be hectic for the next 2 weeks. And I'm just trying to hopefully get it all done by the time I get to the beach, so I can just
chill and not worry about nothing. I don't blame you, man. For me, I came back to a game, and it's a game I talked to you about. I didn't like the game. Didn't like it at first. I now realize the trouble I had with the game was stupid.
Uh-oh.
And that game was Red Dead Redemption 2. I came back. I beat the entire game. I beat the entire game this week. I actually finished the epilogue yesterday. What a game, Keaton. That's a good game. I love that game. And like I remember when it first came out, I was just getting bored. For one of the reasons I think I had a big problem with it was I was playing it on a projector and I couldn't see that well.
How beautiful it was.
Yeah, I couldn't see how beautiful it was, and I couldn't. It was boring to me because I was just riding my horse around, and I think I had just finished Spider-Man, so I was used to action every 2 seconds of doing something. Red Dead had such a slow burn, and I think most Red Dead games, when they start out super slow. And I had the same problem with the first Red Dead, where it started out super slow, and I'm like, I don't think I like this. And then by the end of the game, I'm like, wow, that was an experience. And that's what Red Dead 2 was for me. Damn old Micah.
But here's the question, though. God of
Yeah.
War or Red Dead 2?
God of War, Red Dead 2?
Which one? If game of the year, which one would you go with?
Shit. It depends what you're looking for. Honestly, I mean, I don't know if I could choose. If you're wanting a short experience that you can love from start to finish, you go God of War.
Well,
If
God
you
of War
want,
is still 35, 40 hours.
I know, but it's action all the time. If you want something more laid back, you want a character study, you want different interactions and characters that are gonna stay with you, I think you gotta go with Red Dead 2 for that.
So I thought about this, because I beat both of those games when they came out.
I want you to know something too. My favorite character is Dutch Vanderlyn.
I like Dutch, actually.
Dude, I love Dutch. Dutch is my favorite character in that series.
Honestly, after beating the game, I know everybody's talking about John Marston, but Arthur Morgan, I think, is a better protagonist than John Marston, even in Red Dead 1.
Completely agree.
I know it's kind of weird, but like John Marston in Red Dead 1 is a lot better character than he is in Red Dead 2.
Yep.
And a lot of that is just because of...
He's not the same character for the most part until the end.
Well, he's kind of a piece of crap in Red Dead 1. Like, he gets this girl pregnant, and for the majority of the game, I don't even think it's his kid.
Oh, in Red Dead 2,
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that hint at that's not his kid, and John doesn't even think it's his kid.
He looks more like a Javier.
So, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I like that, though. I like that. The guy who plays Dutch actually did an interview, and he answered that question. He was like, he's like, I'm not going to say who I think his father is, but he goes, judging by who I voice, you might be able to figure that one out.
Because he does say, if I'm not mistaken, you just beat the game. Doesn't Dutch say that she had a round with everyone or something like that at one point?
Yeah, because she was the whore.
Yeah, so like, who knows? I know it's crazy. And it does it helps cement the character of John Marston a little more after the fact when he does like finally bite the bullet and say like, I gotta be a man about this. I gotta be a family man. I gotta take care of my people. And yeah, it helps make his character, I guess you can say, definitely going into Red Dead 1. Because you see how much of a fatherly figure he becomes. And then how much of a bad egg. Red Dead 1, he's like a straight up bad, mother. You know what I'm talking about? Like Red Dead 2, he's still kind of like a young greenhorn over here. But
yep. That's why Arthur doesn't like him though at the start, because he abandoned his kid and blah blah blah. Yeah. Arthur kind of did the same thing, and I think he kind of resented John for that too.
Yep. Well, and I think John coming to the end, because there's a lot of controversy at the very end when they let Arthur go, and Arthur doesn't pull the trigger. Not Arthur, Dutch. It's John. Yeah, he lets John go, and he doesn't pull the trigger on it. And a lot of people are saying he was just filling out Dutch's or Arthur Morgan's wishes for John, because John really wanted that out of him, and he wanted to save it. So there's a lot, too, on that. And that moment's a silent moment, which is really cool, because it does imply, and it's leading it to the viewer and the player to how you think that's going down, which is pretty cool. I love Red Dead 2. Beautiful game. I think it's one of the
it's gorgeous.
Now, probably the best open world looking game there is.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. Throw that out there.
I've got my 4K TV now, Keaton. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Life is 2 may put it around for its money. It's not open world though, but it's still supposed to be bigger, sections, because that game looks gorgeous. And then Ghost of Tsushima might end up really putting around for it, because I think that game looks just as gorgeous. But think about Red Dead 2 though. And this is where I think a lot of people like, even where I think I got messed up on it, because I put probably about 60 to 70 hours in it. Mm-hmm. And I got to the point where I was like, I just want to beat the campaign now. Because, spoiler, just throwing this out here, it's been out 2 years.
It's been out 2 years. I mean,
once you get that disease, just doing the open world stuff kind of gets tedious, because you're always having to micromanage. So, like, if I was paying attention, was reading, everybody says you get to chapter 3 and you stop. And then from chapter 3, you can just do, and that's where I've been seeing some stuff where it talks about, like, at that point, you just live your Western fantasy from there.
Yep.
And you can chase down all the bounty hunters, which I didn't do. Like those, not bounty hunters, but
I didn't do a lot of the side missions,
so much stuff in that game, and I think that's where the game is special. And like, to me, it kind of puts it above God of War to some extent, because like, I love God of War. It was a
Yep.
great game. The story is phenomenal. The combat
Yep.
was phenomenal.
Yep.
But the idea that, like, if I just want to go get on a little sailboat in the middle of a pond, the game looks drop dead gorgeous, and fish, and I can make that my day in that game and role play to that extent. There's just something about that if that's what you're wanting to do. At that, like that's just, I don't know. That was special in that game. And actually, now you're talking about it, kind of makes me want to go back and play it. But I got all this other crap I got to say.
I know I'm the same day. I'm trying to get into Red Dead Online now, but
yeah, it's not too bad. But
other than playing Red Dead, I've played, like I said, been playing Warzone a lot. Playing there is one game that I've been playing the heck out of, which is the newest VR games, which is Walking Dead Saints and Sinners VR.
I thought that's pretty good.
Oh my god, it's so good, man. It's really good. You got the you could carry around knives. You actually have to like grab the zombies' heads and stab them and stuff. Holy crap, super fun. It's a really good Walking Dead game. Probably the best VR game I've played, honestly.
Oh.
And then I played the Iron Man VR demo.
Yeah.
You want to talk about looking stupid while wearing a VR helmet? Play the Iron Man VR game. So Iron Man, he has his hands out to the side like he's using his thrusters or whatever, blah blah blah. And then the head movement is what is controlling your movement in the game. So like you'll move your head around, but you got to keep your hands out to the side like you're Iron Man, right?
Right.
So 90% of the time you're flying forwards, so you look like you're doing like a Naruto run at all times.
Why don't you just lay on your bed?
And I kid you not. There's a scene in the demo where you are flying towards Pepper. She like falls out of a plane. You got to go catch her. Whatever. So you're flying straight down, right? So if you could visualize for a minute, me with my head looking straight down at the ground and my arms way up in the air while playing Iron Man VR. Man. Oh my god! I was like, I feel so stupid.
That's funny.
Oh, it was good though. It was good. But yeah, that's really what I've been playing the couple months. Red Dead has been the big major one for the most part. Just been trying to. Those Rockstar games, they've got links to them, but this one I was like, I don't really want it to end.
Yeah, it's something else, man. And by the way, if you remember Red Dead 1, you can go to Armadillo, like towards the end of Red Dead.
Yeah.
And it's just like ramshacked and destroyed and disease everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like the original Red Dead map, and then there's a mission at the end where you're chasing a bounty hunter through this canyon, and I swear they stole that. There's a mission on Red Dead Online in the very first game,
and
it's the exact same thing. I swear they took I swear to God they took that mission and just put it in Red Dead 2 and said, here you go, because I remember it. And then you ride through the canyon at the end and you shoot at people, and that's exactly what you did in Red Dead Online.
I'm surprised they didn't add Mexico.
Transferred it over. Yeah, I know. I thought that was a weird.
I read rumors
too.
that people were crossing over on like railroads or something, getting into it, almost like it was actually there. But
I heard that too. But they just didn't complete it in time or something.
My biggest thing that makes me sad about that game is they didn't do an Undead Nightmare for it.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I was like, this game needs the DLC, but it never happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm okay with the online and stuff like that, but for me, I would take an Undead Nightmare any day of the week over an online, where I can be a moonshiner or something.
Just add Undead Nightmare missions in.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same location.
Something, I don't know, but
I really thought they were going to do a Red Dead remastered, and I wouldn't be surprised if they still do, because I mean they've got everything there. They even have character models, because in Red Dead Online you get to meet Bonnie McFarland, and Edgar Ross is obviously still there. So
that'd be pretty cool DLC. Just offer it as like.
I think it'd be a standalone.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's true. You can do a standalone. God, I have to play that game again. But like, if
Yeah.
they put more systems to it from the Red Dead 2 system, so they upgrade
Yeah.
even like that start, that'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's going to happen too, because 2K came out with their earnings call not long ago. Yeah, and they said,
games.
yeah, they have like
that.
93 games. I was like, I guarantee one of those is Red Dead remastered. I would not be
Yeah.
surprised at all. And if it's on the next gen console, that's the perfect way to fill out, how everything is going to work without trying to make something brand new, fill it in.
With that being said, I just want to throw this out here. You ever notice how the gaming industry now has become the movie industry?
Became the what?
The movie industry.
Oh yeah, we're just remaking stuff.
Yeah, we're just remaking and remastering everything now. It's just like,
I mean,
or reimagining or rebooting. I'm like, golly,
I know.
Really?
I don't think gaming's got there just yet. And the reason I say it hasn't got there just
they're
yet.
dropping Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 trilogy remastered.
Well, yeah,
that's about to happen.
Yeah, but
this next generation, hopefully, like you said, it could stop because if PlayStation does a whole deep dive where everything's backwards compatible, like Xbox is going to be doing, then you're probably going to have it to the point to where developers will be like, well, let's just put a 4K patch to the game and they're done with it. There's no reason to remaster anymore or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
So you might be right on that to some extent, but because like personally, a lot of these teams, which is good though, because a lot of teams that are doing these remasters outside of Bluepoint, like they're support teams and stuff like that. And
they're not really doing anything.
Teams made just to do just that.
Yeah.
And for them, it's kind of nice because they're getting paid by whatever publisher it is a pretty good amount of money, so they're making their living and they're, like you said, remastering it. But like Bluepoint's got to the point now to where
they're remaking entire games.
I truly think like they might drop a new IP because I think. I know, big tangent. This is exactly what I was aiming for. Going into the PS5, what we're getting this week, Bluepoint's game is probably going to be there, and I think it's going to be PS5 exclusive. I have a feeling if they drop it and it's a great game, I think Sony might buy them and give them their own shot.
Yeah, did Bluepoint make PlayStation portable games before they became like the remaster kings and stuff?
I don't think so. What has Bluepoint made? They made quite a bit. I mean, the biggest, of course, they did a great job with Shadow of the Colossus. So that's on everybody's mind.
I remember on my Vita and all the other systems where it was like Bluepoint was the people who made the portable versions of games.
I mean, that's probably true too.
Yeah,
because if I'm not mistaken, they did Shadow of the Colossus, Ico, and Shadow of the Colossus for PS3. They did the Uncharted. Bluepoint did.
Did they do Mod Nation Racers?
Supposedly they did the Metal Gear Solid HD collection.
Yeah.
I'm reading here they did Gravity Rush. Is that true?
Did they, or did they do the port for it?
Let's see. Let me look at the
They
games.
probably did the port for it for the PS4 version.
So they did a shooter, by the way, in 06 called Blast Factor.
I've never heard of that.
No idea. From there, it looks like everything else was collections. God of War collection. Ico and Shadow of Colossus PS3. Metal Gear Solid HD.
Did they do Borderlands?
Looks like they did the port for the Vita for the PlayStation All Stars. They did the port for Flower for the Vita.
Did that?
They did the port for Titanfall for the Xbox 360. They did the Nathan Drake collection. They did the Gravity Rush remastered, which was port, and then they did Shadow of Colossus was their latest one.
Gotcha.
So it seems like they've just been doing ports and stuff, but
sounds like
with their first game possibly being an IP. So, like I said, maybe I really think they're working on a PS5 launch game. Maybe not even launch game, launch window first year or something along those lines. And if they really knock it out of the park, I could see them because, as you read, the only game was Titanfall for the 360 that was really anything to do with Xbox. I can see them possibly being purchased by PlayStation and maybe giving the reins and say, hey, you got an idea for your own IP? Let's see what you can do with it, So, because I think PlayStation, I know this sounds, I don't know too much on this, but what is it called? The Decima engine? Are they going to, because the head of PlayStation guy, I can't remember his name now, but he came from Guerrilla. And I know Kojima's using that. So I'm wondering if they're going to start doing a thing where they're going to try to pass that around internally. And make that almost kind of like their proprietary engine for, Sony first party games.
I don't know why they aren't all using the Naughty Dog engine.
Well, I was thinking about that too because it does look really good. Even if you look at Uncharted 4, which came out 3-4 years ago, still a phenomenal game.
Oh yeah.
That engine though is very set piece driven.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how it holds up in open world. And I'm assuming it has to have a lot of refining to actually hold up that way.
Yep.
That's why I'm excited for Last of Us 2, because he says there's some really big chunks, so we'll actually see, how it is. Because I was looking at that video with the engine that Gorilla created for Horizon Zero Dawn, and some of the technology they had in place there was phenomenal. As into the point, like the game almost didn't render anything that was behind your camera. It was something crazy like that. It was insane.
Oh, well, games do that, though. Isn't it called like field of view, where you're really only seeing what's been
you can turn on
generated in,
and the game's able to populate it that fast without having any pop in. Like there's something to that, dude. But
yeah, you're right.
That's a really good engine, because Horizon Zero Dawn looked beautiful, and
it did.
Death Stranding looked beautiful. So I'm assuming, like, and with him being the head now, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of try to, push that out more. We'll see though. But I do think this is one of my first predictions. Blue Point. I think they're going to be in that game event for Sony, and everybody keeps saying it's Demon Souls, but I really hope it's not Demon Souls.
I do too. I really hope it isn't either.
Hope it's not Demon Souls, because
they've really been pushing the Dark Souls type games. Did they reveal Bloodborne 2 already?
No. Now, if they reveal Bloodborne 2, that would be phenomenal.
I think that's what would happen. There's my prediction.
Man, I just don't think Bloodborne, because they're working on Elden Ring right now.
Right.
Which I think is going to be, and I'm hoping, I would love to see Elden Ring, by the way, if they're with the marketing with Sony. Like, that would be really cool. But the reason why I don't say that's a possibility is because last E3, it was shown on Microsoft stage because Sony backed out. So I don't know if they maybe struck a deal early with that to get, and I know for a fact that for whatever reason, it seems like they're really pushing for even more like Japanese market games and stuff on Xbox. So maybe they even paid more money to keep showing that one on stage, which is ironic, because if you look at Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, even Bloodborne, you don't think Japan at all.
No.
Those games doesn't scream Japan to any extent. But of course, they are. Bandai Namco does Dark Souls, and Sony did Bloodborne, but published it. But the From Software was the developer. But it doesn't scream Japan to you.
No, it doesn't.
It seems very Western. And I think
does.
the rumors for Elden Ring is supposed to be open world, so even more Western now. By the way, that game shown be freaking great, because I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, regardless of how it ended. George R. R. Martin's doing the writing for it.
Right.
It sounds like it's going to be a pretty good. And honestly, I think it is time for that game to have some light. And I don't know if it's going to be on. I think it's going to be on the Sony for some reason, or either this one, because the event in July for Microsoft, from what I was reading,
I think it'll be at the Microsoft.
But it's supposed to be very first party oriented though. So if that game's getting close to release, and even it's supposed to release even early next year or maybe late this year to get the back end of these consoles,
who's the publisher for that game?
It has to come out.
Do we know who the publisher is?
It's Bandai Namco still.
Never mind.
I would say, and I really think this might be a thing. I think this year's E3, like the big E3 for a lot of third-party publishers, I think it's going to be the Gamescom show with Jeff Keighley. Because I think, like you said, Sony's going to have a pretty good concentration. They're probably going to show, I would say, at least 50-50 first party, second party, and then some third party. And then I think you'll have all your third parties hit, and then I think you'll have even other, because like for instance, From Software has never done anything for E3, so they've always been on someone else's stage, so they got to go somewhere between there unless they just randomly announce it. And Square Enix said the same thing. They've said that they're not doing any kind of big presentation, so they're going to be on somebody's stage, which leads me to my next one. Final Fantasy 16 is going to be shown off this Thursday.
You think so?
PS5. I think so. I think it'll still be cross-platform, but I think they're going to show it.
All right, so let's get into our big predictions. So you've got two. You've got two predictions. All right. So you got two predictions right now, anyways. Two predictions, as in you've got one with Final Fantasy, right? Final Fantasy 16. What was your other one?
I'm just gonna say the Blue Point game.
Blue Point game.
You want me to define what game it's gonna be?
Nah.
Okay, good. Because I really don't think it's Demon Souls, but it's probably gonna be Demon Souls. So.
Demon Souls. I think Do you think that they're going to show the box?
No, I do not.
You don't. You do not think they're going to show the box. I think
not.
they'll show the box.
I think they're going to show a splash screen, and that's it.
You think they're just going to go right into the games, basically, is what you're saying. I think they're showing the box. I think they're going to show the box. It'll either be a one more thing, or they're going to show it at the very beginning, and it'll be like the little, you know how like they have the little fly-ins of the controllers and the game system. I think that's what it'll be.
See, the reason why I don't think they show the box, because I think Sony, which this generation dominated at, is superior software. Not across the board. I mean, you got Knack 1, Knack 2. You got some of those games that didn't really hit too well. But you still have massive heavy hitters. God of War, Uncharted 4, Last of Us 2. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm going to see if it's great. Ghost of Tsushima, I think, is going to be great. Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, you got all these heavy hitters that's showing you, like, this is Sony first-party studios, and this is what we're doing, right?
Yep.
I think they're going to lean really hard on that. And let's say they show the box and it's an ugly piece of equipment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think they want to risk having any kind of negativity on this if they're showing a lot of great software-based stuff. But I could be wrong. You know, like, maybe they're, like I said, it depends how confident they are on their design. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I think it's weird that they've gone this far and not showing it. So I think at the very end, they will show it. I think either at the very end or the very beginning. If you think, in my opinion, if you think that if the design's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouth, they're going to show it at the beginning, and then they're going to show all the games so that people aren't left with a bad taste. But if they're confident in it, I think they'll leave it at the end. Well,
it would be smart, like you said, to show it at the beginning regardless and be like, hey, this is our PS5 game showcase, and all this is in-game footage on, bam, and it shows the PlayStation 5, and then you go into your games.
Yep, I think so too. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think they might press the on button. Like, they'll go like, they're like, well, now let's see how this baby works or something. And then they'll press the on button, and then it'll go into all the games that's going to be on it. And one of those games, which I think everybody's pretty much called it, will be Horizon 2. Horizon 2, I think, will be the first trailer that's shown.
Huh. Yeah, I feel like they're going to probably lead with some kind of exclusive and then bake in third parties in the middle. And I can see it Horizon, but because they did say, I was reading this little president guy came out and mentioned a couple of stuff and said the titles are on for this fall, which makes me think they do have a couple first parties cooking. I don't think it's Horizon, because I really hope it's not, because I kind of want them to have more time and really, because that game was really good, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually great, but it wasn't exceptional.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, and we talked about this before, and I know you're whatever on this, but I got that game a week before
Breath of the Wild.
I played 10 hours in that game. I played Breath of the Wild. I didn't touch it for about 8 months.
Yep.
Because I couldn't even go back to it. There was
you're right.
something about that Breath of the Wild. So, like, I want them to really... But then when I went back to it and I played it, I was like, oh, man, this is a really good game. But that's what it was. It was a great game.
Yep.
But I want them to really make it, like, a little more time or something to help really, 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 really just kind of push it forward, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a quick turnaround, man. 2017 to 2020 on launch day on a new system. That's just a really, really quick turnaround.
That's 3 years.
Yeah, but you don't want to recycle the same place. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm assuming they could, but you have to build a whole new place. Well, maybe. I guess the engine could have been the big reason for that game, the Desmond engine. So maybe with the engine in play, I guess it could be. I mean, I'll be stoked to see it, but that's a bold one. I could see a trailer, but not launch day. But you didn't say launch day there, right?
I didn't say launch day. I just said that would be the first one showcased, I think. And I do think that has Ready at Dawn said anything about what they're working on?
No, but there's technically not first party though.
They're technically not first party, but I do think they're working on something. I don't know if it'd be at this one though.
That'd be pretty cool if we got a follow up to 17, whatever it was.
Yeah,
because that game has kind of a cool premise behind it, by the way.
Yeah, it just wasn't
really freaking cool.
Yep, so, it just wasn't. Just wasn't built very well, I guess.
So that would be pretty cool, actually, if they actually made an actual game out of it instead of a technical showcase. That would be kind of wicked. But that's not your prediction, right?
No.
Ready at Dawn, whatever, 1777.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool if they were like the launch title people, because I feel like Order 1886 was a launch title technically. It was a launch year. it was launch year. So
here's the other thing. Before going on my next prediction, I'm gonna back up the Final Fantasy 16 one.
okay.
We both listen to multiple podcasts, and I listen to Game Informer show and now the Min-Max show, both great shows still. And Ben Henson mentioned multiple times on his show because when they went on the cover trip for Final Fantasy 15.
Yep.
No, was it 15? Oh man, what was that cover trip for? Maybe it was 14. I can't remember what it was. Dang it. Kingdom Hearts 3. Sorry. Kingdom Hearts 3, I think is what it was.
Okay.
He saw off-screen monitors, a game that he has never seen, and a game that hasn't been announced yet. And he said he strongly thinks it's more than likely what it is. So, and that was a couple years ago, I think, or 3 or 4 years ago, or at least 2 or 3 years ago, which makes me think that the game was probably already being worked on.
Right.
After 15. And like, what did 15 come out in? Like 2016 or something like that? Let's see.
I'm not ssure.
But I really think that game has been cooking for a while and it's ready to go. And that would be a really big get for, let's just say, because it's going to be cross-platform, but if they can get just 1 year exclusive and launch it on PS5, like within like actual on launch day, I think that would be huge. Because you got to think, Final Fantasy 7 is right now platform exclusive for a year, and that game has been, a phenomenal game. So who knows? I think Final Fantasy 16 will be announced. But I was just backing up that prediction. But my second prediction for this showcase is I think they're going to show whatever upgrade system for previous gen games. I think they will have something in play for it.
Yeah.
And they'll have a highlight reel showing, for instance, Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PlayStation 5.
So you think we'll see the UI and everything too?
I don't know if we'll see the UI. I just think they'll show, like, hey, just to let you know, Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy 7, all the thing. And it's going to be like, boom. You buy a PlayStation 5, these games will be waiting for you, and it will have X upgrade available, kind of thing. I think you'll see something like that, very similar to what Xbox has.
I could see that definitely happening.
Games.
Yep, I could see that, and I could see them showing like, I don't know actually. I was gonna say have them show like Ghost of Tsushima or something like that, but I think they want to make sure that people buy it on PS4 first.
Well, no, I think it's the thing. I think they'll show you even Ghost and Last of Us 2, and because like
in PS5 though,
just to show you that it will be there for your PS5 instead of having to wait.
So like, that people won't wait to buy it.
And
okay, I understand that.
Really
that would make logic.
If they would do it this way, is if maybe even, I know it sounds really weird, but what if they announce some kind of season pass for Last of Us 2? And the launch date for that season pass will be on the PS5, and he'll be like,
I don't want a season pass.
PS4,
I don't think there will be one.
Well, not even to say a season pass, but something like the Ellie story, what it was in Last of Us. Something like that, the Left Behind or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it will be, because I think they want to really wrap up Last of Us. And I don't
know. I think that's what this game is too.
Is going to happen, and which is pretty dang exciting because now they have literally Last of Us wrapped up, and they have
Uncharted wrapped up. So,
I mean,
where do they go?
Even though I'm excited for Last of Us 2, but like, what IP are they going to be dropping?
Right.
Now, I have heard rumors that they've already had another team working on something else. So, who knows what it is?
Have they said if this show is going to be mainly third party or first party or anything?
I've read it's just an hour of games. And I think, like I said, that's why I said earlier, I think it's going to be 50-50. I think you're going to see some third party stuff because I have another prediction. I'll let you go first after I just said.
All right. You ready for it?
Yep.
I think they're going to show off I think we're going to get a trailer for Harry Potter. The Harry Potter game that was shown. I think it's from Rocksteady. I think it's from Rocksteady.
I don't think Harry Potter's from Rocksteady.
I think it is. Because Montreal's working on the Batman game. I think Rocksteady's making the Harry Potter game.
I just don't think you take. I think you might have a shot. I'm gonna give you some percentages on these, by the way. This is making it a little fun.
Okay.
If you can get percentages on mine. Your first one with Horizon, I'm thinking like a solid 80. I definitely think that's gonna happen because
I don't think it'll be gameplay. I mean, if anything, it might be like a scan through of the environment. Yeah, but I do think it'll be like a cinematic or something.
It's gonna be a dang beautiful
her coming out of the cave. Yeah,
No,
her
it's not
coming
even
out
gonna
of a
be
cave
her,
and it
man.
looks over at the huge environment or something.
All you're
And
gonna
then you
see
see all
is
the animals or something.
you go to the huge sunset. That's all you're gonna see. Beautiful landscape, and then this dang robotic raptor just run across.
Yeah.
That's all you're gonna see.
That's it. And I'm fine with that. That's what I want.
But that one, like I said, I feel good on that one.
Yeah.
80%. The console one, I'm gonna go 50-50 because you made some good points on that one.
Yep.
Like 50% chance on that one. This one, I'm giving you like a solid 20.
Yeah. you gotta have some shots in the dark.
I just don't. The Rocksteady part is one that kills me because what they define in that kind of action.
Yep.
They would be re-scrapping because you can't do that with Harry Potter. So I just don't feel like it would be Rocksteady, man. I think you'd be.
Do you think it would be
more
Montreal?
likely to see the Batman game? To be honest with you,
Yeah.
the Montreal Batman game than you would see the Harry Potter one. But I mean, I would say seeing the Harry Potter one, I would put that closer to me like 35-40. But with the Rocksteady part, like I said, it just dropped it. But there was a rumor that it said WB actually was going to have a press conference this year, which kind of alluded to that they probably had a couple more games. Because, they've always had the Lego games. They have the Lord of the Rings. And then they would, of course, have, the Batmans. And like you said now, with big other rumors, the Harry Potter. So there's a possibility you'd have big Lego game dropping this year. The new Rocksteady game dropping. I think Harry Potter by whatever studio that we don't know, and the Montreal Batman game. So those are the four. If they had a press conference, I feel like would have been shown, and I think one of them would have had a deep dive, or maybe two would have had a deep dive. So I think the Batman game would have had a deep dive to some extent with actual major gameplay, with more than likely like that Batman game. I think will be a staggered release between these generation consoles, and I think Rocksteady will be hitting within the first year of the new one. And I think that Rocksteady game, I think it's going to be, personally, I think it's going to be, I know people didn't say this, but some kind of Justice League, and they're going to blow out Square Enix's Marvel Avengers.
Probably.
Right
I can see that happening.
I think for some reason, I just kind of think more in that DC comic realm and stick with it. What I would love to see, I think they had this, but I'm not sure. What about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Rocksteady?
I don't want that. I mean, I'm sure
really
there's people that do, but I am not one of those people.
But all right, I want to dive into mine, and I'm just giving you my percentages as well, because this is another 100% home run out of the park.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think Resident Evil 8 will be shown.
Okay. First person?
Will
there be a VR component?
VR? Not sure on that. I just think it's going to be shown.
Okay.
And from what I was reading, because again, this was rumors too. A lot of these I'm based off of rumors I've heard, and we're just kind of trying to find that time frame. But yeah, I think Resident Evil will be shown. I think it will be first person. I actually think it's going to release, if not this year, early next year, because I'm pretty sure they're wanting to release the Resident Evil 4 remaster by 2022. So you don't want to put the new Resident Evil 8 alongside the Resident Evil 4 remaster same year. So I really think you're going to see that kind of like within this year. And I think Capcom might have some other things up their sleeves too. Just not sure what they are.
Yeah.
I think one of them is actually Xbox, to be honest with you. I can see another Lost Planet, but that's a different kind of thing. That's a far-fetched dream, but you never know.
Yeah.
But that's it. Resident Evil 8, like I said, I'm pretty confident. If it's not shown in this one, it's going to be shown within the next 2 months for sure.
Yeah.
At least Gamescom with Jeff Keighley or whatever.
I could see that one being. I could see that more being of a like Jeff Keighley thing. So I'm gonna say like 40%.
But did not Resident Evil, if I'm not mistaken, did it not have a big Resident Evil 7 had a big marketing with Sony? So I can see them sticking together still.
Yeah.
Which I have another prediction after this one that I just remind myself of. That kind of contradicts this, but we'll see.
I think, I was going to say that we'll see more Marvel Avengers gameplay. I think, but they came out with a trailer like not even a week ago that was like, oh, we're going to show you more about War Rooms, which is the little multiplayer component or whatever on YouTube. So I don't know if we'll get a new trailer necessarily at this then. Just based on that, I was going to say that we'll see gameplay for that, though, try to think of what else would
Yeah,
probably
they did
happen.
just announce that, didn't they? Their gameplay
Yeah.
initiative thing.
For the
So,
multiplayer, basically, they're going to be showing that off.
Yeah.
I think. All right, I'm going to do 2 more shots in the dark. That's what I'm going to call these, shots in the dark. We'll have something Star Wars related.
We can have a round robin after this because there's a couple more I got in my head.
Okay, something Star Wars related, and I think we'll have something Star Wars related, whether it be a remake or something else. Even if it's Lego Star Wars, I'm counting that shit. And then I think My Nation Racers is going to come back and be a long title.
So here's the weird thing about the PlayStation 5. I know it sounds messed up, but
Yeah.
I think Sony realizes that, and I think that even Microsoft to some extent, even though Microsoft's not completely out of it quite yet,
Yes.
I think Sony realizes that their mid-tier produced games such as the Knacks and stuff,
Yep.
it's not where they want to be anymore. I think they're going hard now on big third person, even first person. Just
Well, there goes my there goes my
action-adventure.
third shot in the dark, Knack 3.
I just don't see them doing that anymore because I think they've realized that ship has sailed. Even
Yes.
like Gravity Rush, which people say those games are really good. I only played Gravity Rush 1 for a little while on the Vita. I have
didn't
2
really care much
on
for
my
it.
PlayStation, and I've never played it. But I've
I
heard
had it
people
on my
really
Vita
like them.
too, but I
But
just
man,
didn't
what
care
did that
for it.
sell? 500,000, if that. But
Yeah,
then
if
you
that.
have literally Spider-Man selling 11, 12 million. So
Yeah.
like, I think Sony understands now that people who buy PlayStation for the first party games such as those, and then hopefully they sell more and more, and then just buy the third party on it, because they're waiting for these big heavy hitters.
Yep.
So this is the next prediction, and I think, again, it's been rumored, but I think it's true. I think Sony not purchased it, but at least licensing out Silent Hill. And I think it's Sony Japan Studios that's actually making it. So they're out of the.
What's funny is I don't think they would show off 2 first-person horror games, Silent Hill and Resident Evil, in the same event. I don't think they would do it.
Contradicting myself on the Resident Evil 8 thing, but but I think the Silent Hill will just be a teaser. I think the Resident Evil 8 is further along. I think it's going to show a lot. Where I think the 8 is just going to be a teaser, and I have a feeling that. Well, no, I don't say that. The Blue Point game, I was going to say Metal Gear, but I doubt that. Actually, I think the Blue Point game, by the way, which I think would be really freaking cool, is if
My
they
Nation
completely.
Racers.
Yeah, My Nation. Now, Castlevania 1.
Oh, that would be cool.
Realized, and that could be the Bloodborne that everybody's kind of wanting.
Yeah, that would be
it's going
cool.
to have that same, maybe
I'd
kind
be
of
down
environment kind of thing. That's a shot in the dark. But now I say we should just do round robins because that's kind of my big ones. I still think the Silent Hill 5's got a chance. I could see shot in the dark. Here we go. Kojima, who knows? He might have a weird ass teaser trailer, showing something that.
Yeah.
Who knows what it is? I could see that being a thing.
I could too.
See, I had a couple others. I gotta remember them. What do you got? You got anything? Just round robin.
I think we could get something Spider-Man wise.
Oh, that's where you say Insomniac. I think Insomniac has something. They have 2
Spider-Man or Ratchet and Clank.
Yep, they got North Carolina and they got.
They got Ratchet and Clank and Spider-Man right now.
So the Spider-Man thing, by the way, because we were talking about Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man 2 has a better shot coming out before Horizon Zero Dawn 2 does.
Do you?
The only reason I say this is because
the map's already done.
Exactly. You don't take Spider-Man out of New York City.
Yeah, you just
can
add
take her out of wherever you want to get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're right.
So
you're right.
I could definitely see them just, refining, doing some other stuff in that Spider-Man 2 game, and I think it'd be freaking cool as crap. Spider-Man versus Venom, or who knows what it is.
Yeah, I think it'll be like a little teaser. It'll have like the black suit, basically. It'll be a black suit teaser, and then it'll say like 2, and then it'll say 2021, or maybe even 2022, because that would be good.
Yep. And here's my long. This is another in the dark long shot. I think it's 0.01% chance of happening. but I can see it happening to some extent. That's if I want to say this, and I know some people would love for this to happen. Day one launch game.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a free to play.
Okay.
Created by Guerrilla Games.
Okay.
With exploits from Zipper Interactive. SOCOM.
You think of SOCOM? SOCOM?
Yep. God, I love that, dude.
There's just so much. There's so much.
But
Wise.
it would be Sony's free-to-play model. You know, and if they get the marketing right, be like, look, guys, it's not really a story. None of that stuff. It's going to be a multiplayer game. We're going to have some co-op in it, and then they're going to constantly build on it throughout the generation and just build. Maybe even if who cares if it's a Battle Royale? Maybe it is. You know? Or I think it was it Playdead? Or what was that other one, that Housemarque? Who knows? They said they're working on a AAA game. What if that's SOCOM?
No, I didn't. I had one in my car. But yeah, I do think that.
I didn't think about that. Housemarque and SOCOM? That would be pretty cool.
Housemarque's supposedly working on something new, ain't they? Like, that's not
they
Hot
were working on a Battle Royale, and they canned that, so they're working on a AAA project. So what if they're working on SOCOM? I just want to see SOCOM come back, dude. I love it.
That would be cool.
And also, just saying, even if they didn't want to do the whole multiplayer thing, the old SOCOM games had some pretty good stories to some extent, or at least good character dialogue to some extent. I think that would be really wicked if they did a really hard focus on a third-person SOCOM story-driven game. You know, and even add multiplayer aspect on it. I mean, they could do something really cool with that, too.
Have you ever thought about how MAG was way before its time?
Which one?
MAG. You remember MAG? Like, MAG is like 200 players. Like, if they had just added Battle Royale to MAG, like, it would have been like the top-selling game ever.
Man, MAG took Zipper down, too. It sucks, dude. They got pretty much canned. Then Unit 13 came out in the Vita, and that's all she wrote. Because, I don't know, dude. PlayStation 2 era, and that's what I was getting kind of alluding to. PlayStation 2, man, SOCOM 1, SOCOM 2, even the Fire Team Bravos on the PSP, those were some loved games, dude. People really loved that stuff. And then on PlayStation 3, they did that multiplayer only SOCOM. I can't remember its name now, but it just didn't take off as much. And then SOCOM 4 came out, and I actually really enjoyed SOCOM 4.
It was the freaking PlayStation Network hack, and people couldn't even play
it. But when I did play it and the story and stuff, it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was pretty good. And I just think if they put enough resources in it and really respected the material too, I think they could make a great SOCOM game. So that's kind of my shot in the dark that I'd love to see is a new SOCOM game.
Yeah, I think that would be good too.
Insomniac, if you don't see Spider-Man, I think you're going to see Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's going to be the case too. It would be cool if they was working on something other than Ratchet and Clank, though. That would be cool if they had like another original title, kind of like Sunset Overdrive or something.
I think they own Sunset Overdrive, do they? Or no, I think Microsoft owns the IP.
I think Microsoft owns the IP, yeah.
But it doesn't mean they can't make a new IP to some extent, you know.
All right, Keaton, we'll wrap it up right there, but I do want to ask you one question because I made a bet with someone and I want your opinion on it. And the bet was Last of Us 2 is going to review better than Halo, the new Halo Infinite. What is your opinion? Do you think that's the case?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure I made the right bet, and I'm pretty sure, like, I was like, I know Last of Us 2 is going to review way better than Halo Infinite.
And I'm not saying this to be
a fanboy or anything.
Because I mean, if, hopefully, everything works out and we're still here in 8 months and I can get both systems and I'm playing both those games. I think Halo, and see, this is what's the hard part, is Halo lost its benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
Sony and Naughty Dog still has its benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
Reviewers are still going to, even if the game is not a real 10 out of 10, you're still going to have reviewers give it a 10 out of 10. And I know that sounds messed up. Nintendo still has this going on. They get review bumps all the time.
Yep, they do.
People make this joke. Sony gets review bumps too on their first party.
I think Rockstar gets review bumps too.
So I definitely think Naughty Dog is, but the only thing that worries me about it is, and if you want to go on your bet here, Metacritic wise, yes, I think
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I said.
thinking
That
more
was
of
the
a
bet.
90.
That was the bet of Metacritic wise, not audience score, but Metacritic
I'm
wise.
thinking 93, 94 for Last of Us 2, which is not as
Yep.
high as Last of Us 1. And the reason why I
No.
say that is because I think there's going to be some reviewers out there who are making a point because of these, whatever these people are upset about. I think there's going to be some kind of reasoning behind it, and people are not going to review it as well.
Yeah.
And then Halo. See, man, that one's just so tough because, like, if you really think about it, Halo was probably the biggest AAA game outside of maybe Fallout 4, but even Fallout 4 was shown in June, and we're not seeing Halo until July.
Yeah.
It is the biggest AAA game franchise that we know is coming supposedly this year, and we have no absolute idea other than
what
a
it looks
teaser
like.
trailer.
Yep.
And then they announced that a new engine is going to be on it.
Yep.
So I don't know. That one's weird because it's just hard to say. Like, what is it going to be? And
Yep.
I think Halo's been. I honestly, from playing Halo 5, like it's pretty stagnant now, and I really think it needs a good shakeup. So
Yep.
if they go with a good shakeup and they add some, it has a chance. But as of right now, I definitely think Last of Us 2 is. I don't think no less than 93 on Metacritic. And it's
I
probably
agree.
going to be closer to 95, 96 to be honest with you.
Yep. I thought so too, and I was thinking Halo at the highest. I think a 92 or high 80, high 80 to like 90 to maybe a 92.
Yeah. We have to do one, I guess, soon after this one to do what we think Microsoft's going to share.
Well,
it's really funny.
Next month it's going to be great because we're going to be talking about Last of Us 2, and that's just going to be the whole thing. It's just going to be Last of Us 2.
I mean, I love every system. I buy all the systems.
Right.
It's so funny because, like, I'm really looking forward to Ghost. I'm actually probably looking forward to Ghost more than Last of Us. I know it's crazy, but
nah, that's not
I
me.
really
But
like that setting. I like the open world. I like the idea they took inspiration from Breath of the Wild. Like, there's a lot of stuff in that game that really is calling to me. But what is so funny about that is freaking Nintendo drops a trailer for the Origami King, Paper Mario, and I'm like, damn it, same day, and I had to get both of those games. Like, I don't know, because there's just, I'm gonna be honest with you, I know people will say some crap about this, but Nintendo's games have a different feel and magic to them that no other game has.
You're right. You're completely right.
It just does, is all I'm trying to say, and I'm pretty excited for that new Paper Mario. So.
Yeah, if you told me years ago that I would be into Animal Crossing, I would tell you were a liar.
But
then a pandemic happened, and I had nothing to do.
Yeah, we got some crazy times because, like I said, I love all the systems. I buy them all every time.
Yeah.
I play a lot of my third-party stuff on Xbox right now. That's just because it's the Xbox One X, and regardless of what people say, it does, for the majority of the time, it does run most stuff better than the PS4 Pro. So if I got them both, I might as well, buy them.
I'm still rocking the OG PS4.
Like I said, I plan on getting both systems if possible. Sony, like I said, I know Sony is going to deliver, is what I'm saying. Like, their first party, they're delivering. Their games are going to deliver. They've built that trust with me until they break it. I'm assuming, definitely, like you said, any Naughty Dog game, even after The Last of Us 2, because I think I'm going to enjoy playing The Last of Us 2 regardless if I'm upset about something story-wise. Who knows? Actually, I really don't think I will be, like you said, even though I think it's all going to be blown out of proportion and out of context because it's a dang script leak or whatever.
It is.
But whatever
they got coming up next, had cutscenes too, but like nothing that would have surprised me that would have happened.
Right. But even after that, like, I'm buying whatever Naughty Dog game's next. I'm buying whatever game's next. I'm buying whatever Insomniac, definitely, Spider-Man. Like, I'm going to get those games regardless. They're going to be day one buys for me already until they prove otherwise. Which, I mean, I guess you still can. Like, Santa Monica Studios, I'm excited. Because, like, I think Cory Barlog's still with them. And he was saying multiple times that he was going to, God of War was kind of it for him within that franchise. Mm-hmm. So I'm really wondering if they've split Santa Monica Studios into two different studios and maybe say, hey, will you help us write God of War 2, but let you direct whatever you want to direct and write what you want to write.
Right.
So I'm really wondering if he's kind of maybe like an overseer with that. Because, he wrote a very personal story, and I can guarantee you he still wants some oversight on it, regardless if they give it to a different director. And then maybe with what he did, and he's probably one of the most known game directors there are right now because he's very social too. Like he gets himself out there, and I think he's not Kojima's level, but he's pretty close, and he's one of the only other directors I can think of on the top of my head, other than Ted Price for Insomniac, who people know names of, and the guy from Bethesda, I can't remember his name. What is it?
Todd
Howard, yeah.
Todd Howard.
But you know what I mean? Like, there's these directors now, and I think Corey Barlog's on that thing, and all you have to say is whatever game directed by Corey Barlog, and all of a sudden you're going to get hot for it. Like, you can create a new IP with just as a name association to it. You know what I'm saying?
Could. Yep.
So I can see Santa Monica doing something like that. Now we're going back to the PS5s. I know we're supposed to wrap this up, but by the way, what is Sony San Diego doing?
I have no idea.
Are they dropping Uncharted? Are we getting a new Uncharted game?
I don't think so.
They've always been doing MLB, but supposedly they hired and they upstaffed for another project has been being worked on. You're
right. I forgot about the other project that they're working on.
Are they going to have some first party title that we don't know of? Come June 5th, 4th. Is it 4th or 5th? 4th. That's another. I think honestly, if they have something, they're going to show it. Yeah. Even if it's MLB The Show 2021, boom, 100%. I'm good to go.
Yep. I'm all right with that. I could see them doing something. Probably Mod Nation Racers too, though.
I never played Mod Nation Racers. It
was a good game. It was a great game. I loved it.
I think also you will see Dreams, by the way.
Dreams?
Yeah, I think you'll see Dreams. In
just to add for it,
saying, "Hey, it's going to be on PS5."
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that with like showcase of like Dreams people have made. People make insane stuff on that game. Like it's incredible, honestly. So,
and if it could be shared with PC, that would be wicked.
Yeah, that would be good.
You can create on PC and then it still shares and you can still download on PlayStation because then people on PC is going to create some insane,
Mm-hmm. They had talked about monetization and people being able to sell their stuff, so that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. All right, Keaton. Well, thank you all for listening to this month's episode of the Kirby Brothers Podcast. We appreciate all of our listeners, and we hope that you are doing good in these trying times. Be sure to like the podcast on whatever podcast service you are using. Leave us a review. Everything that you can do helps. So we appreciate you listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a good one, guys.
Boop. Is it over? Well,